Esports is competitive gaming. Imagine playing really any video game you ever enjoyed playing, but playing it competitively to the best of your abilities. The Esports Club, though, we're more than just competitive teams. We host gaming for everybody. We just want people to come out, play games, have fun, and then hopefully host a few good teams that might win a few championships for the school.
We are definitely developing and pushing to build and develop that infrastructure that a lot of other clubs already have. Whatever skill level you are, you can come out, have fun, compete, don't compete. We welcome anyone.
There's not really a spot elsewhere for people to just play video games. Our club is definitely like all-inclusive, so if you're like even just a casual gamer that games, an hour a day or an hour a week, it doesn't really matter. You can come and play and make friends, so that's really what it's all about.
A club like this is meant to bring games out of the dorm room and meet other people, make friends. We do game nights every other Friday night. You'll get an opportunity to play some games you never played and meet some people you wouldn't meet otherwise. So if you're interested in gaming, come on out to the club and see what it's about.
Hi folks, and welcome back to our last match of the evening here at EGFC Week 11. I am Waffles for Sid, still joined by Twin Salty, and we are going to be closing out the final match. Twin, we are about to see University of Colorado, ranked number 1, going up against University of Tennessee, ranked number 5. What are your thoughts going in when, we have such big contenders on the table tonight?
Yeah, two big teams. Obviously, Colorado is, the elephant in the room, undefeated. They looked great last week against UT Arlington. And they have another test, back-to-back weeks, where they have teams that could beat them if they do not play their best game in the University of Tennessee, who's only lost to St. John's, who's also with their win day 9-2. It's not like they're a team to be messed with. It should be a very good game. Maybe map 4 in this matchup.
Absolutely. And yeah, like you mentioned, they've only lost twice to St. John's, so don't let that rank 5 deceive you. This is probably going to be a very close match between these two teams. And Twin, I'm really curious how they're going to be setting themselves apart from each other, right? Obviously, they're high up in the rankings, but who's really going to show us that extra edge that they bring to this competition?
Yeah, I'm curious to see who's going to bring that edge. As you said, we probably won't know for a little bit. I'm looking for Ruby on Colorado as well as maybe even Zenith on Tennessee. I think we have the side swapped on the production end right now. It is Colorado on right, Tennessee on left. But I cannot wait to see, maybe in the battle of the off-tanks, Lucky Dog and Ruby. And Ruby, she's been unstoppable this season. I think been one of the standouts for this Colorado team. So can't wait to see what she can do today.
Moving around here on the outside to kick off the fight. A lot of aggression from both the tanks, Ruby included, just like we were talking about, trying to see who can really give their team that main advantage. A lot of pepper damage coming through. Nothing too significant yet, but it is Tennessee that has the advantageous position moving towards the point. Taking a bit of the low ground now as they're trying to cap it up, and Colorado continues to push forward. They move this fight and don't let Tennessee, well, I guess they're gonna let them cap it right there. I thought they were gonna step on it a little bit longer than that, but man, this coalescence from Paravir has just put them on the back foot and given Tennessee all the space they need to keep holding this point, Twin.
Yeah, they continue holding the point, and maybe that is where Colorado start bringing this up. It'll be the Reaper of Tennessee taken out. Paravir will be taken out shortly after. It seems like Colorado are finally breaking through, taking out the members of Tennessee, and will capture that point. But with both teams on this kind of zombie comp, with the only difference being Cloud on the Tracer compared to DeHub being on the Reaper, a little bit more like insta-poke damage coming from Colorado, but Tennessee just has so much sustained with the lifesteal that both of these teams can just fight for ages.
Oh, almost discovered a little bit earlier than they were wanting. EMP thrown, clips 4 people right there. Diva Bomb over the top. The cherry needed in the kill feed to take everyone down and send them to spawn.
Yep, a very quick reset for Tennessee, as I thought it could have been disastrous for a little bit, as Yahoo gets found out in the back line by Lucky Dog, who's doing a good job of checking in the back. But still, EMP goes off, gets 3 from Ruby with no Winston bubble available. The hack, and Colorado could reset here again, but now Tennessee have an EMP of their own.
Oh, Yahoo is out of the picture early, and well, it is reciprocated with Lucky Dog being taken down. A lot of people from Colorado hacked, but they did get the sound barrier. They're trying to aggress in, but Tennessee dropped their own, and it's gonna be tough. A pulse bomb kill on the back end. This is the momentum Colorado needed, and Tennessee's been pushed back once again.
Yeah, pushback yet again. Tennessee, they had the right idea with that EMP from Zenith, but this time around, they do not connect with Bird Boys, who's able to use the sound barrier, keep everybody alive on the side of the Buffaloes, and now they can just continue holding this point strong. With both teams having the coalescence, Tennessee need to get some value out of this Death Blossom from DeHubs.
Coalescence gonna open up the fight here from Divination, and it does take down Senaf here on that Sombra. So some of the DPS out of the picture and a bit of the pepper damage coming through. Sound barrier over the top, doesn't find anything but is going to clear space. Ruby has her own, getting thrown this moment over the top, nothing found, but still a lot of damage to be done. University of Colorado handling the trickling of Tennessee coming through and looking pretty comfortable as they're going to take this first round here.
Yeah, they take the first round 100-26 in favor of the Buffaloes. And yeah, once they captured that point, after Tennessee captured it during the first fight, it was just full steam ahead, controlling the tempo of the match, and that's going to be a huge thing for them heading into Mecha Base as well. Then continue controlling the tempo. Looks like they'll be staying onto the zombie-like comp, at least for right now. I mean, it looks like some swaps coming in for them. Tennessee going on the normal rush.
So let's elaborate on what you mean by a zombie comp. Which part of it is zombie?
I think it's just the entire comp. When they run the Sombra with the Reaper and you have the Lucio Moira in play, it's just so much sustain from every single hero that it's just so hard to die. It's like a zombie. They keep coming back from the dead time and time again. When you think they're going to be gone, they just come right back and jump right back at you. And they're not going to run it here. More running that Chaos comp with the Wrecking Ball and the Diva. And a great pick early.
That's a lot of DPS off the table for Tennessee to try and mitigate, especially Funkmaster, who is going to be rolling around and causing a lot of disruption for Tennessee. Big Slam comes through as the point is unlocking. They have not quite capped it yet. Tennessee's going to go ahead, take that position first, but we will see if they can continue to hold it. This happened last time and Colorado ended up taking it back, but it looks like this is not going to be a repeat of history. Tennessee finding some traction and some kills in the kill feed. Ooh, Yahoo was literally one just now, Twin. Woo!
Yeah, just gets out with the recall, and Funkmaster sadly not going to be able to say the same, and Yahoo barely able to get out yet again. But Tennessee this time, they cap first like they did last time around, but this time they win the fight. They're using the map to their advantage with it being such close quarters. It leaves Basher and DeHubs to get some more value on those heroes and forces Colorado to play a little bit more smartly on these dives.
Like this Ashe coming through across the high ground is damage boosted, but Yahoo gets taken down. That means Tennessee is a man up as Colorado is going to continue to try and aggress forward. There it is, the DPS taken down as they continue to equalize player-wise. Bob thrown onto the point, crashes straight into Basher. There is an Ant Matrix and a wall thrown to try and mitigate some damage and discourage people from walking around that corner. I love the sound barrier coming through from Paravir, and with the blizzard on top of that, Colorado is gonna have to give up this fight and go back to spawn.
Yep, and did I just, for added extra emphasis here from Seth, knowing they have an Ana right above them, tries to take them out, not able to. Colorado not giving up this point quite yet.
It's still a trickle game coming through for them, but Tennessee wants to wring out every bit of control possession they can before giving it up. Still taking the kill feed. At this rate, if Colorado does not actually do a full regroup, they won't have a good last team fight.
I don't think they will.
No.
I think they've had these deaths come in way too late. It will be Funkmaster touching last second here to force us into OT, but everybody's just respawning in. Ruby's going to be the one to touch first.
Grenade comes through and, oh, it is a big kill from Lucky Dog, finding one. Colorado doing their best to trickle on, but it is looking like a very uphill battle as Tennessee, well, they got really aggressive and they're going to tie up the score after this round.
They're going to send us at 1 apiece heading to Sanctuary. And if you're Tennessee, you worry a little bit because it is the best comp on that map is exactly what Colorado was just running on Mecha Base. So going to need to maybe adjust a little bit more on there. And it looks like we have a pause here.
Oh.
We'll be bringing it back to us just for a moment here, but it's great rebound from Tennessee, starting their stuff and showing that, you know, we can bring it to Colorado.
Well, Twin, we were talking about this behind the scenes, and you said this is going to be a good game. Maybe we'll actually get to see Rialto and Nepal this evening, and it's really nice to see that already opening the gates here on our first control map. Both of these teams have taken it 1-1. Obviously, this last map is going to be, you know, whoever really clutches it out, and I'm curious if that is going to set a tempo for the rest of this series, or if it's going to be, you know, one of the things where it lights the fire under the enemy and then they come back because they've been reinvigorated. So, you know, see how they harness the energy, right?
Yeah, both teams can take it in different ways depending on how this final map goes. I think if you're Tennessee, you've shown like, yeah, we can beat this team. You know, some people may not think just because it's the juggernaut of Colorado. Nobody's been able to take him down yet. But again, they can take notes. They have a great VOD that they could have looked at this week from TA. And they can continue pushing the agenda. Again, they're going to have to tweak it a little bit because heading into Sanctuary, what Colorado is running is near perfect on what you want to run on this map.
Right.
Tennessee, you just got to maybe change it up a little bit. But for the rest of the series, it looks like they could bring it to Colorado. And if Colorado isn't playing their best game like we saw on Mecha Base, maybe we have an upset on our hand.
And it seemed like Tennessee was better calibrated during that second round against Colorado, and some of the, you know, off angles they were taking and the aggression coming through. When they lost it on that first round after initially capping it, it just seemed like they kept giving and giving and giving space without actually, you know, holding the line. And you know, obviously was not the case for the second round. Handled all of that aggression when they, they had the minefield on there. They set themselves up in a corner with the wall and Ant Matrix, sound barriered a little bit later and repelled.
Yeah, you know what? They're making the adjustments that you need, and you love to see those very quick adjustments mid-game. It's not, oh, we're taking a map to make those adjustments, kind of like how we saw Montana do in the last game. But Tennessee's like, instant adjustments on how to play against that comp. And now let's see if they can bring it to Sanctuary. I think if they can deal with the Sombra, and if they can deal with the Wrecking Ball like they did that round, they have a very good chance of winning because they were winning the support line duel, I would say. Their back line was winning just a little bit, and how much heals they could put out, and just a little extra emphasis on the attack as well. So can't wait to see what they can do. Obviously, we just have a technical pause, I believe, so it should just be a few minutes here before we get back into the action. But, you know, looking at these teams, Tennessee, again, 8-2. They've only lost to St. John's twice, which St. John's definitely not a team to laugh about, who are, I think they're in third entering this week.
Right.
So Colorado, you got to check.
Someone in the top 3. Okay. Like I said, don't let the rank 5 deceive you.
Yeah, it's just like UT Arlington. Like UT Arlington, I think is 8th or something now after they lost. Again, they've only lost to Colorado, so you have to make sure you look at their schedule, their strength of schedule, and Tennessee has that where, you know, they could beat this Buffaloes team, and if they do, it changes the dynamic of this entire league because somebody has beat Colorado, and no team can do it up to this point. We'll have to see if Tennessee can do it though.
And anyone who beats Colorado is going to have a lot of eyes and a lot of targets on their back from so many teams in this league. And I mean, it would be a huge, you know, upset and a big drama moment for the org. I gotta say, I'm glad our pause happened in between the rounds, right? It's not often I feel like we are blessed with such a well-timed pause that isn't in, you know, Blizzard is in the process of being thrown.
Yeah.
We can relax a little on the in-between rounds.
Yeah, it's like, oh, overtime's going on. Somebody DCs. Like, oh, like, what do you mean? But it's right between. And honestly, it'll just be like a miniature tactical timeout for both sides as they're trying to figure out the best way forward. Colorado, they are going to be running pretty similar to what they ran last round, except Ruby's on that Sigma and Yahoo will be TPing them out of spawn. Tennessee going a little bit of a different route. They're going to be running the double shield with the hubs on the Torbjorn. Oh, and Zenith, I think, just got 5-orbed from
Oh my
Divination.
gosh. I wasn't even ready for someone to get deleted that fast. Poor guy. Already an uphill battle for Tennessee moving into this first fight here. Man, that was so crazy coming through from Divination. Probably just saw where he was going to be and divined like his namesake. Nice boulder comes through here with a crush on top of it. Funkmaster doing a lot of displacement, but it's going to be University of Colo going to go ahead and take the point, but Tennessee still keeping strong on their little shield area, trying to put that pepper damage in.
Yeah, and this time when that first fight's going on, it's Colorado that captures the point first. So they're already getting some percentage going, and Tennessee have realized this. They're going to try and reset as, yeah, they did lose an early member, and Colorado wins the first fight. Already has the Transcendence up just because of how much damage Divination was putting out. And now they're going to have it in line and may need that Discord orb to deal with Basher, who has swapped over to the Roadhog.
Little slam comes through and the follow-up kill. The kill onto the hubs is left his other DPS counterpart pretty alone, and no follow-up kill going to be put down, but Tennessee did move on to the point with a few of their core members. You've got a couple tanks, but it's not going to be enough manpower to really hold strong after capping.
Yeah, you get 9% on there, which maybe down the line will get you some extra stall time or maybe an extra team fight, but for now, Colorado seems to be going on all cylinders now. Haven't had to use an all fight yet. They are ready to counter anything Tennessee has up there. And Yahoo looking for the pulse, not able to stick it. Nice shield from Noodles, but can they get out with their lives? And so far, yes, they're actually able to get Yahoo.
Oh. In the back, though, Sunath goes down to Divination again in the mix of all of it. So that does even them up player count wise. Another kill! What a nice volley. I'm so glad we were there to see that. He's on fire and, well, has the trance online to save anyone who may need it or himself. That's exactly what needs to be done right there. Popped it when he was essentially 9 health, getting aggressive in the back line and, well, got the kill stolen by Cloud, but still there.
This is what you call just absolute energy coming from Divination. Like, no, I'm going to push your spawn doors, you know? As the Zen, going to trans into your backline, going to try and pick off your Zen. Almost does me. Didn't have to reload, but the damage is done. So much pressure to the side lanes. And, oh, do not tell me that. Oh, my.
Wow! With the res! Supports looking out for each other. You know, I can't say I haven't done a bit of love sharing like that in my own games, but absolutely nutty play coming through from Divination and great win for Colorado.
Yeah, you gotta think the confidence level from Divination has to be at an all-time high. If you're using Transcendence, going into their backline, and then trying to get a pick off, as there is the EMP with the Diva Bomb from Ruby on downtown. Just perfectly done, and then they get the stagger onto the Diva as well.
Yeah.
But it's perfect play from Colorado. They make the adaptions. They know maybe Mecha Base compositionally just didn't make a whole lot of sense, really. But when they can run their comp with the Sigma and the ball and those coordinated dives, they're near unstoppable.
That was a really good performance coming through from Colorado for the last map. And, you know, I think Divination is in that flow state this evening. So definitely probably going to be, you know, hot off the press and one to watch for... Wow, there were so many bloodthirsty support kills in that last round, Twin. We
even had a Battle Mercy at the
very end.
Like, you don't get to see that very often. The Battle Mercy goes through, they get the res onto Divination as well.
Right?
It's just perfect support play. You know, they gotta have a little bit of fun too.
It's so refreshing in my, I mean, I place my fair share of support. So as the Mercy, when you're, yes, I've killed the one enemy that may prevent me from bringing you back safely. Now we can run back together. Tra-la-la.
Yeah, it's like, all right,
it's a great
you know,
time.
we're both going to live this. And as we head to Numbani, the dives are going to be coming back out,
Oh,
likely,
man.
especially on this first point. And it's going to be up to Tennessee, I think, to answer this, because they looked great on the rush, but you're not really going to see a lot of that here on Numbani, maybe onto the third phase, but that's really about it. Can you get the dives to work, and can you maybe even counter dive your backline that just kept on getting just tackled on by Funkmaster and by Yahoo?
So Colorado is still going to attack, or is, I guess not still. Control, you're always attacking. But Colorado's going to attack first here. So I am excited to see Noodles on this brig. You talked about the dive that we saw and how beautiful Colorado was executing it. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Noodles to make some big plays to, you know, essentially shut that down or at least mitigate it so everyone else can help jump on it.
Yeah, honestly, if you even just counter bash Funkmaster when they're trying to dive in, or if it's Yahoo just hitting them with the flail. Like, any sort of CC to dislodge the dive coming in is going to value if you are Tennessee. Funkmaster getting ready to dislodge that back high ground. You can tell, yep, already you can see the silhouette of Noodles looking for it. And Colorado just looking to see if they want to dive in.
Basher's been pinched. He doesn't even know. He just got hard cornered as Funkmaster and Yahoo were waiting for someone to drop down. They're like, oh, jumped alone. Now they're pushing on the high ground. Oh, the stun is good, but does manage to fend him off for some time. Not trying to take on Hubs in that Storm Arrow Hanzo form, but there is a kill onto Noodles. And then Paravir, 2 supports out of the picture for Tennessee, is 1 tick comes through for Colorado. Another kill comes through, this time onto Hubs as, well, Divination absolutely on fire again as another tick about to roll through for Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado, they're still strutting their stuff. Tennessee can be able to stall it out for a little bit, but 1 minute off the clock, and that'll be it. As Colorado, the time bank is now replenished almost 5.5 minutes, and they can start pushing on here as you can tell Tennessee, they had a good game plan set up, but as you said, Basher gets pincer, and that is the kind of mistake Colorado is going to take advantage of every single time.
Yeah. And he dropped down, thought he could chase a little bit, obviously didn't know there were more people watching, and with Funkmaster in the ball form, he has that advantage of the third-person view while still hiding. So there was no way he could have known that he hadn't continued to roll around to the high ground quite yet, but man, Ruby is so aggressive on this high ground, takes down Noodles in the brig form, still has the self-destruct online when needed. Divination finally taken down, but Lucky Dog on the back end manages to eat a pulse bomb in all of the chaos. There's still a lot of damage coming through from Colorado, but a bit of regrouping going on as some people are walking back from spawn.
Yeah, they lost Bird Boys early, and now they're going to be taken out yet again by Lucky Dog, and they do force out the Diva Bomb. Diva Bomb is coming out from Ruby as well, thinking this fight's still winnable, going to go right into the Winston bubble of Basher, and I don't know, maybe Colorado is trying to stall out at this point. Not sure if they can win the fight in its current state, as Ruby just going to jump off. And Colorado going to have to regroup. A nice stand from Tennessee as they focus the back line of Divination and Bird Boys, and it works out that time around.
Cloud went ahead and switched over to that McCree as well. So, you know, that'll be a little bit different DPS approach. Obviously a good one. He's flashed Basher and took him down already. Noodles has followed suit, and he does get taken down after he's already taken out 2 members of Tennessee. Tennessee still trying to hold this defensive line a little bit, but they're man down, and the point is going to go hit that checkpoint.
Yeah, they probably could have had somebody touch, and now they may even get punished even more as all of them are still on this high ground, and the dives are coming in. 3 go down for Tennessee, and the Volunteers struggling a little bit to get out of the gates as they had a decent setup, but yeah, that early pickoff it just sets them off. And now Colorado's pushing spawn doors. They have touched spawn doors. Divination now probably got to back up. They get anti and DM those there from Ruby, as maybe a little bit of over-aggression coming in from Colorado to see if it gets punished or not.
Patient.
No, nobody's looked at the Zen.
No one cares about him. Such good trigger discipline coming through, not revealing his location. Everyone on his team is handling the work, and, well, he can just sit there and reap the benefits. Earlier, we saw Bird Boys pushing forward and aggressing, damage boosting Divination, while Yahoo pushed the cart. And, well, this has been some great rebuttal from Tennessee. They finally managed to stall and prevent Colorado from continuing this aggression, but it's not going to be much of a breath for them, Twin.
Yeah, it's going to be short-lived, as the Tracer putting some pressure up on the high ground. The Minefields is going to do that as well, as Noodle taking out both supports already gone for the Volunteers.
I mean, Colorado knows it is time to get extremely aggressive. Both supports out of the picture. They did lose their own in the process. Didn't quite look out for Bird Boys as much as they needed to, but it's all about getting the kills here for Cloud. If you can do the damage, then, well, healing up doesn't matter nearly as much. High Noon being channeled. Here, the what is it? Soldier Visor on the side being channeled, but is taken down. Oh man, what a critical defense matrix coming through from Ruby to save everyone on her team. Does get demeched from the Brig, but no big deal. Continuing to aggress forward. The nanoed monkey of Basher puts a lot of pressure onto Colorado, but they got the point!
Oh, this we've seen two today. The C9. We saw one earlier. Second match of the day.
Ooh.
And now we see one and the fourth. Oh, and they were nano too. They have the damage resistance and the extra health.
Yeah.
And they just don't touch the carts.
In their defense, they were, you know, trying to put some pressure on the sustaining backline. But yeah, it is stay on the cart at the end of the day, and definitely a tough one to roll into. But it's a very, you know, very clear win condition for Colorado. They got a hold.
Yeah, they got a hold. I think it's winnable for Tennessee. Again, we've seen moments to where, oh, they can do this. You know, we saw it during the middle of Streets phase. We saw it at the end there for a little bit. So we know it's doable. But they've been making this with small mistakes, and a team as fine-tuned and as great as Colorado is, they're going to pick apart those mistakes every single time. And instead, Tennessee needs to capitalize on the mistakes Colorado's making. They're being so aggressive on some of these. So Divination touched the spawn door. I think 3 of them touched the spawn doors, and Divination then was hiding in a bush. Like, if you can capitalize on those mistakes continuously, then you at least start to get the ball rolling to where you can really start capitalizing and start getting some map objectives. But they just haven't had that up to this point, and maybe DeHubs going out to this Echo is going to be a game. Like, look at this. Divination is in the backline, has no respect for what Tennessee's going to do.
Oh my gosh. And, you know, I don't have trigger discipline like this, folks. I want to shoot the first thing I see. But look at this. Still waiting. Now he knows it's time to engage. Oh. What?
My goodness.
I mean, I wish I could do that. But once again, Colorado just continuing to push forward. More kills, killing. Oh, take it away, Twin. I'm still getting over that Zenyatta kill.
The trigger discipline, as you said, and to be able to back it up. Like, yes, I'm gonna hide in your backline, and I will take out your Echo, even though they hit me with all the necessary stickies. I don't even know anymore. If I'm Tennessee, I don't know how to react to that. Like, they just had no respect for what you're going to do, and to be fair to them, they got out with their lives after getting a pick. So Tennessee now going to have to try to push up on high ground and just try and get anything going here.
A little bit of push coming through here from Basher. Just seeing what's available. An Ansi does come through onto Funk Master. Going to be a little discouraging, but looks like Yahoo goes ahead and wins the Tracer duel on the side. Cloud has that High Noon and looking to channel it through. Well, no not quite yet. People are going to dip out of the way. Yeah, DPS needs heals. That's normal.
What's new? It goes for the Deadeye, tries to get it.
Wow.
As Tennessee is retreating. Cloud not able to. The Transcendence was also used from Divination just to get out of the Tennessee backline. And see, this is what we thought we were going to see last game from UTA. Was kind of this little silliness going on, maybe playing a little more loose. And instead in that game, Colorado's doing it in a game where, on paper, this should be, you know, a pretty competitive game, and they're just blocking them out.
Oh man, this minefield is going to be a huge hurdle for them to get over as well. The stick on the noodles! Oh man, that is going to be rough. There's so many people taken down from Tennessee as they try to continue and aggress forward here, but it's not going to be quite enough, and there's still... I mean, there's 2 tank ultimates online, but they're coming up on 2 more after that.
Yeah, they have plenty of ultimates. Fuckmaster's just trying to get... Gonna get chased all the way into the back.
Of course he gets away.
And eventually gets the mega health pack, as Zenith will just have to retreat for now. Tennessee, yeah, just gotta try and do something at this point. Diva Bomb send over the top, create some space. Maybe try and get that first tick out at this point to at least try and get an attack going. But when you have Yahoo just dismantling your main tank in front of point, definitely not an easy task, as somehow Cloud lives that.
Wow. I mean, gets the kill from the high noon, but res just as quickly from Noodles back onto DeHubs. Paravir does go down in the thick of the fight, but we'll have to see if there's going to be any more. I mean, there's only 30 seconds left. Tennessee needs to do another regroup and have one last final push.
Yeah, at this point, just try, even if you don't win this map, right? You have a feeling you're probably not going to do it at this point. Just build some momentum going your way. Divination, I didn't even realize on the... trying to go for some Reddit Lucio plays, I think, onto the Echo. And, you know, I've never seen a support be this aggressive before, but maybe Tennessee can take advantage of it with the duplicate onto the Diva, and they do touch.
Overtime bar has been engaged, and Tennessee is doing everything they can to stay in this fight. It is still an uphill battle for them, but they did manage to res Paravir back. That is a good sign. Throw comes in from the pulse bomb, doesn't find any targets, but will do a bit of damage, and there it is. Enough follow-up coming through from Colorado to continue handling Tennessee's trickle onto this point. The sound barrier is going to be the nail in the coffin, and well, the minefield is the icing on the cake, as that's going to be the OT bar trickling down, and Colorado going to go ahead and take this second map.
That is what you call a statement from Colorado. As on paper, again, should be a very competitive game. Obviously, Tennessee, not a team, you know, to be thrown to the side, but that's exactly what Colorado basically did. Like, we're just going to throw Divination. He can go on his own little side pass, do whatever he wants to do, and doesn't really care about the repercussions of his actions. And from them, it's all right. You know, we should be pretty competitive in this game, and instead they're just pushing Tennessee to the side. And that in itself, it's a statement like we are in our own tier in this league, and if they can finish it out on Hanamura, what a statement to be made with just 5 to 6 weeks left to play before we hit playoff time.
I totally agree with you there. I was surprised to see some of the guts that Colorado had on those plays. And, you know, look, obviously, in the words of Zoolander, right? Divination, so hot right now. And he's been on fire every single time we clip over to his point of view. We saw those beautiful volleys come through from his alternate fire. Can a team like that, is that something that they're going to depend on and want to have regularly? Is he always in that flow state that's that on point? Because I'm not sure I saw that the other couple weeks, but if that's what's on the table, Twin, I don't want to go up against that, man.
Well, yeah, watch out if you were any other team. And obviously, first time that I've been casting Colorado, so for me, it's like, oh, like, this is like a different kind of flow state. This wasn't happening
the last couple of weeks, not from Divination like that.
If they get into this confidence, like, all right, I know, like, if you're Divination, I don't know if Not like I could be the best person in this lobby. I'm just gonna do whatever I want, and it's like you're throwing a top 500 and they're just, you know, doing the Red Elusive. They're hiding in bushes, looking for 5 orbs, and they get the echo.
They're the ones getting the damage boost from the Mercy pocket.
Yes. And we'll have to see what Jack they have up their sleeve next after we go to this quick break to see if Tennessee can bring this back.
Hi folks, and welcome back to EGFC Week 11. It's Waffles and Twin Salty covering the rest of the University of Colorado versus University of Tennessee game. And Twin, we're 2-0 moving into Hanamura. Tennessee needs to step it up.
Yeah, that is the understatement of. I think if you can maybe like contain divination, then maybe you have a shot at this. But as we said, he's in such a flow state. I don't think I've ever seen a player in any league, especially collegiate-wise, be in this kind of state to where they just do whatever they want and it works every single time. Like, he's hiding in bushes. He's doing whatever he wants. He's going on, and it works every single time. He's not getting punished once. And it's not like Tennessee's not trying to punish. Like, they are desperately trying to get rid of divination, but they just haven't been able to. And on Hanamura, there's such long sight lines for the Zenyatta to get picks. You gotta worry a little bit if you're Tennessee.
And the other difficult thing is that Divination has been playing, I mean, like we said, very, very well this evening. So he's been winning the majority of his 1v1 duels, which means if they're gonna take him down, that means they have to devote 2 resources or 2 people to defeating him. And so, you know, it does take a lot of frontline pressure off Tennessee to hold. And, well, it's a tough situation to be in, Twin.
Yeah, and a good start at least. The Hubs gets a sonar headshot on the Cloud, who now goes off of the Widow onto the Ashe. And maybe, I think Colorado trolling a little bit like they weren't already, as Ruby is on the Hog. They're running the Hog and Ball together with Bird Boys now onto the Mercy. It is just trying to win one-on-ones. And then it's exactly the kind of game Colorado.
Oh yeah, Colorado thrives in a 1v1 style environment. And you know, their players have a lot of really strong fundamentals and just game mechanics in general that make it tough to beat them on. Look at this. This is a great brawl coming through, and well, Tennessee actually, oh, I thought they had a chance. They're holding some traction. Yes, they do. Look at that. Good pushback on to Colorado.
Funkmaster and Divination both jumped off the edge. Not sure if it was intentional.
Oh.
I can't even. I think it was a reset, but they could have won that fight. It's a little interesting coming up from Colorado. We'll have to see if it pays off. As if you're Tennessee, you know, half the time is gone. Maybe Colorado just really wants us to see Rialto later on. And Cloud with the dive. Yeah, Cloud just turning it on now.
Oh man, the DPS for Colorado sure can light the fire. There is the soldier visor coming through from Senath. It's gonna force them all to cower, but with Divination taking him out of the picture, they can just stand there and cap the point.
Yeah, they can just sit there, cap the point, not really give a care in the world as Ruby coming back is gonna get the far spawns. It may take a little bit longer for the off tank to rejoin the rest of their team, but
that's good. It'll give Tennessee a moment to breathe.
Gives Tennessee time to figure out what is actually happening.
Yeah.
Because you don't normally play a comp like this, at least in its entirety. It's very similar to what Colorado was running at the end of Busan. But yeah, it's just a very weird comp for Tennessee. They have to try and isolate Funkmaster, and when they're going for a minefield like this, they can be real dangerous.
Wow, Lucky Dog already going down, and there's the pulse bomb throw. Yahoo's trying to take down Noodles in the process, but it is Bird Boys, the aggressive support trying to get the kill. Not quite enough. You can't beat the Brig, especially after that rally rolls through. And well, Tennessee gonna be able to hold this defensive point for just a bit longer.
Yeah, you can tell Noodles got support like, no, this is not how we're losing this point. I'm not getting battle mercied.
No,
I'll pop the rally if need be. And they have the Gravitic Flux coming up, but they had to use 5 ultimates just to stay in that fight. But to be fair, Colorado, I think, used very similar amount of ults as well. So,
yeah.
Again, maybe this is where Tennessee slowly start bringing it back, using the overconfidence from Colorado to their advantage. Especially because Divination has not been as big of a factor this map as we saw them in the previous two.
Mm-hmm. They've gotten a couple of good volleys off, but yeah, not nearly as much headhunting as we had seen in our previous maps. It does seem like Funkmaster here doing the same thing, just doing a very small loop up there from the grapple. I love how slow and like nonchalant that loop is there, and Yahoo still trying to find the damage. Ruben picks up 2 kills in the kill feed, and Tennessee now on the back foot. They've lost a lot of people, and now Colorado continuing to cap this point 1 tick in their favor. Tennessee's trying to run back, but it's just gonna be Noodles. Gets a little bit of a stall touch, and Colorado gonna take point B with 2:36 left on the clock.
Yeah, still a very decent time considering I don't like to call it a normally. They were hard troll a bit there on first point, and you still cap with 2.5 minutes on the clock. That is quite impressive for the Buffaloes. As yeah, it seems like this match just isn't real sometimes. Like there's some weird comms coming out, some moments that shouldn't exist. But you know, Colorado probably having the time of their lives. Tennessee probably having the complete opposite of that up to this point.
Yeah, and you know, I gotta say, I wonder what happened during the pause that we had on our very first map, right? We had our pause, we were at 1-1, both of these teams were looking good, they were not getting away with such egregious, I guess I can't call them mistakes. Yeah, challenge. I like that, yeah, yes.
It's yeah, I don't know. It's such a weird game to analyze because this isn't normal strats coming out from Colorado. They're running Doomfist, Pharah, with, yes, they have the Mercy Pocket, but they're still running Ball Hog. It's interesting. I think Tennessee can catch them off guard with a TP here if they don't see it coming.
I totally agree with you. Although I do worry about the damage boosted Yahoo just shredding the teleporter before they even get a chance to jump through it. There it is, taken out of the picture, but doesn't matter. A lot of Tennessee's members are already on the point. There's a lot of damage from Yahoo, and there it is. Too much to handle as Tennessee does get taken down in the end. A couple more kills coming through, as you can see the aggression of Colorado, and well, manages to just hang off the edge and then berate away.
Yeah, and the TP is nice coming in from Senath. You know, they get a tick on there, 53%, but it isn't enough because once you get to the point, they have nothing to do other than set up turrets. There's no shield for them to burn down like in a normal game. You're not even really seeing anybody on point other than maybe Cloud and Ruby. So it is such a weird spot for the Symmetra to be, and yeah, already going to be swapping over to the Cassidy to try and deal with the dives coming in, but the rollout from Funkmaster just dislodges this entire attack.
Man, he tried to bowl into them and instead looked like he just hit a straight up brick wall. That was Tennessee. They continue to aggress forward here around the back side of the point, trying to get that damage, but Yahoo has Barrage in the face of Senath and into the back of Tennessee, taking them down one after another. Divination drops the trance, but you know, might just be, well, drops the trance and jumps off the edge.
Goes off the edge for style points, maybe. Yeah, I think Divination's just having the time of his life. I don't know. I think he is in such a good mindset right now. Like, not a care in the world. And Tennessee, they just gotta figure out a way here. They have not much coming out. They have maybe the Blizzard as what a rollout coming from the back. And not gonna be able to get too much quite yet. Oh my.
How is he alive?
How does he get out? He gets the orb and it's just enough shield health from his abilities to try and get out. That's, I don't know.
That's, look, Doomfist can ruin friendships, and there is a beautiful example of why. I cannot believe that he survived all of that damage and got stunned the whole 9 yards, still continuing to put the damage in, and wow, Tennessee makes it through the choke and into the wrath of the DPS of Colorado.
I don't know what else to say at this point. They actually solo velked the poor May.
The hubs.
Oh, Bird Boys, they're pushing spawn. They're trying to look for one. Now they're just gonna damage boost Divination. Who gets dove. They're somehow still alive. How is Ben not dead?
I love it.
What?
Wow, 26 health. So much aggression from these supports, and well, obviously Colorado enjoying themselves a bit here. We are at 35 seconds left, so if Tennessee's going to do something with these 5 ultimates online, now's got to be the time.
Yeah, now it's got to be the time for Tennessee. As Yahoo is legit in spawn, so is Divination. Going to be looking for one, able to get one. Are they going to be able to get second? No, they use trans to get out. And Tennessee, you still have to touch point in 10 seconds.
Still a lot of movement coming through. Tennessee here pushing forward. They've got the ultimates online, but they have lost one person. Paravir is down, but the Blizzard is on point, trying to keep members of Colorado out of the way. There's a nice kill coming through from Lucky Dog, but the minefield is pretty deadly. There is a punch coming through, and Tennessee still managed to find a couple kills, but it is just going to be Senath here on the point, trying to keep the dream alive. Does go down in the end, and woo, just at the last moment, both supports from Tennessee managed to touch. One goes down, one gets a kill?
Oh my God,
no way!
They're gonna do it! Yes!
Paravir! The savior of Tennessee right there.
It saves us from maybe one of the most lopsided maps in EGF history. They do win the point. Granted, it came at the cost of Colorado pushing spawn. But again, if you're Tennessee, you take the advantage of the mistakes Colorado is making and you keep the game going because you never know what is going to happen. It is the beautiful part about this game. And Paravir now is going to try and match Divination on this Zen. And that could be an interesting matchup. I don't think Divination is take that very lightly. Oh, it
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Oh my gosh, but I mean, Seneth got a great pick and then got picked himself right afterwards by Ruby and the hook. Paravir here is trying to be aggressive, and the Battle Mercy from Bird Boys once again picking up another kill for the stats. Tennessee has been taken down a little bit here and trying to put a little... They're just gonna regroup here.
Yeah, regroup. You have Tac Visor coming soon from the hubs. And Colorado, yes, you have a few ultimates at your disposal. And, you know, I'm curious to see what Tennessee is going to do this fight. Maybe just rush point at this point. Did Divination use trans? Divination did use trans.
Just
I think just
Party
because
trans.
they could. Maybe try to make like an art piece out of the like the pattern that they're gonna leave behind.
long
I'm not
exposure.
entirely sure. They're gonna back up here. They're gonna get picked off by Seneth yet again early in this fight.
Okay.
Oh.
I mean, that's all the resources there. The res back in the way in the back line by Bird Boys. Not surprising, but that barrage from Yahoo just shut them down in their tracks. That was so much damage, Twin.
So much damage, and this game is just
bomb.
out of nowhere. Like, I don't know how to explain this game to anybody else if we were to talk to them after this game's done. Oh, how does he find these spots to hide? Look at this. He's looking behind one of the little buildings. Is gonna find Paravir.
Oh, no.
Is he
There it
able
is.
to get the pick? No, not yet. Oh, there it is. Is he able to get the second? No.
Of course he's punished for that. There's no way he wasn't going to be. But unfortunately, you know, Paravir didn't quite win the Zen 1v1 duel that Divination was engaging on. We do have 20 seconds left, and, well, Tennessee's about to have all 6 ults online. This is when they were able to break through the defense of Colorado just at the very end. Can they do it? 10 seconds left, and someone's gonna have to be able to touch. It's gonna be Visor popped early by DeHubs, and Ruby is so low, so vulnerable in that whole hog state. There it is, a self-destruct on the point, clears out all the mines, making it safer for Tennessee to approach, but is it gonna be safe with Cloud here on this far side? No, Divination is an absolute terror, and that's gonna be Colorado taking Hanamura and taking the series.
Yeah, they take it 3-0, and it makes it feel, if you're Tennessee, like it was a 20-0. That was a statement from Colorado saying, we are number 1 in this league, and it ain't even close. As play of the game goes to Divination. Again, such a flow state they were in tonight. Cancels the Deadeye. Oh, what?
With one volley?
Oh!
Okay, you know, I wouldn't feel as bad if I died to that. That was a gorgeous Zen play. And for those of you who obviously can't see us behind the scenes, we just saw that play and our jaws were on the floor.
They were on the floor. And even our producer's jaw was on the floor.
Yeah.
Obviously, we saw it in the kill feed that he got 2 headshots. I didn't think it was a straight volley. Eliminates the Deadeye, eliminates the Zen, helping out the team. That's the definition of how this match went. That is, in a 2-second clip, how this match went. Divination going flanks and getting kills they should not, and winning it for Colorado, even though I think even without Divination, everybody was just in a good state of mind tonight, and they continue to show why they are undefeated.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there, and, you know, it's a very different standard that they have just set for themselves, in my opinion. You know, that was a whole different caliber of crispness, even through all of the, you know, silly and wonky strategies we may have seen. There were still some very solid fundamentals going down, and yeah, Zenyatta isn't typically way off on his own and is not frontlining, but wow, they were on point. I just can't get over some of those shots. The Echo one in the air is still tripping me up a bit.
That has to be one of the clips of the season. Like, some of these have to be in that discussion because it's just honestly, Divination, if you need a highlight reel to make a contender, like an OD team or whichever team you want to join, this game right here is a great example of where you can get clipped because you were popping off left and right. And not to say that the rest of the team was, Ruby had her tonight where she was just.
Oh, yeah.
I think everybody pulled their weight when they needed to. But I think it's like, at one point, it's like, Divination, you're feeling yourself. Just go do your thing. Like, it's okay. The rest of us can hold down the fort.
Yeah.
And you do your thing. And I can't wait to see if we have an interview because that will be quite the interview. It sounds like we do. We're going to go to a very quick break to get them in. I cannot wait to see what they have to say about this match. Stay tuned.
Hi, folks, and welcome back to EGFC Week 11. We are here with Yahoo from our victorious team of University of Colorado. Yahoo, how are you feeling coming off of some wonky strategies and all that gameplay we just saw?
Yeah, it was definitely a fun game for sure. Always fun to see Divination chilling in the enemy's backline. So yeah, it was a fun game.
So obviously Divination was pretty in his flow state this evening. What is it like for you guys when you recognize that someone on your team is in that state, they're on fire, and I mean feeling untouchable essentially? What are you guys doing around that?
Yeah, I mean with Divination especially, that guy's just insane. You know, he's a really, really good player, so it's always awesome to see him popping off. Fun when he goes Lucio, and on Numpani I know he was kind of having some fun just skating around and stuff. But yeah, you know, sometimes you'll see one of our players is just popping off. Cloud will do that sometimes on hit scan.
Yes.
And a lot of times, you know, it's just kind of about empowering that player. So making sure we give them the resources necessary to, you know, keep going and keep popping off.
Yeah, well, you know, I've been casting a couple of your games over the past couple of weeks, and both you and Cloud have brought some clutch last-minute plays and huge value to the team. What has it taken for you to like really grind that skill and refine it? What are some of the challenges you've had?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just kind of a matter of practicing. Our team scrims pretty high because we're really competitive, so we like to scrim teams that are usually a lot better than us. And so getting that scrim experience is, yeah, it's really valuable for us, especially when it comes to games like this, because, you know, we've put in the work and the effort that we don't really have to do too much to, you know, we don't have to try insanely hard to win a lot of these games, which is always nice. So
yeah, how was it feeling tonight? What did you guys know, like, okay, tonight's game was probably when you guys kind of just let loose You could tell you're going a little bit more niche strat. You were going like hog with ball. And you just, when did you guys realize, like, all right, let's have fun?
I mean, I think the first map Busan was actually a decently close map, but then I think once we started really winning on Numbani, we started to do a little bit more of kind of the troll picks and just having a lot of fun. Ruby was doing a great job on the hog on Hanamura, so I know it was, it was kind of after that Numbani we really started to just kind of do whatever we wanted.
Yeah, and now you guys had a tough game last week against UT Arlington, won that 3-1. You have on paper a tough game this week, and then you just swipe them away. When you guys play Connecticut next week, we're 9-2. They're going to be, I think, 3rd or 4th after this week is done. How are you guys looking ahead on that game, or do you guys just see it as just another team to beat?
I mean, to be honest, it's just kind of another team to beat. We're not really too worried about anyone. We were somewhat worried about Arlington last week because we had kind of a crazy situation. I was on vacation, so I was like playing on a crazy setup, and we didn't have divination for most of that game. So it was kind of a crazy game, but outside of that game, we're really not too worried about any of the games this season.
Nice. Well, I gotta say, that is some good insight. And, I still am enjoying the fact that you guys said that you scrim a lot of really high tier players and you really try to play up and challenge yourselves. Obviously, that hard work has shown off as you guys are currently undefeated here in the league. Is there anyone you want to shout out or give props to for helping you guys get here this far?
Yeah, I mean, just always the team. We have a new coach this semester is Spoon. He's done a great job just kind of helping us be very critical of our own gameplay and do some individual VOD reviews and things like that. So that's been really great. And then obviously just our captain Ruby for continuing to push us. She's always really, really competitive, and she wants to make sure we're doing the most that we can to be as good as we are. So
awesome. Well, Yahoo, thank you so much for joining us for the interview. And once again, congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you play, of course, in the future. And folks, obviously, Colorado is going to be a team to watch out for as they've been working hard. And, well, you heard it from Yahoo himself. So let him speak that.
Yeah, it's honestly, they're looking like a team to where they can bring it home no matter who they play, no matter who's even having an day. Like, it wasn't even like everybody was on their A game today. Like, no matter what, somebody can pop off. Tonight it was Divination, who just time and time again proved to why he's maybe one of the best players in this league, period. And I cannot wait to see what they can do next week against a team like UConn, who's, again, 2 losses on their resume, but they do have 9 wins. Better team conference, so I can't wait to see what maybe some East Coast flavor brings to this Colorado team. But I think, honestly, what a way to end tonight. I don't think I've had that interesting of a match in a very long time.
Yeah, definitely a lot of curveballs that we were not expecting, and a great performance coming through from University of Colorado this evening, securing their win and continuing their perfect record. We'll have to see if next week continues to treat them so kindly, but that is our last game of the evening, folks. So we will catch you on the next broadcast. Of course, we want to give a big thanks to EGF and Tyler, who helps bring this whole org together. Folks, we couldn't do it without our lovely producer and observer, Aeon. Thank you so much for capturing the incredible plays that we saw. And don't forget some of those sweet, like that volley was incredible. So we saw it all. Huge props and thanks to you, because you make the real magic happen. And folks, we'll see you next time.